Good afternoon, everyone. We are Group 5 of Group 2, and we are here to present about sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks. Before our presentation, may I introduce our group mates? These are Rona Fuentes, Aliana Empleo, Bryce Yunam, and me, Renoa Mulingan. Our topic for this report is about classification and description of sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks and its engineering usage. So, our first part in our report will be the classification and description of sedimentary rocks. What are sedimentary rocks? Sedimentary rocks are formed by accumulation or deposition of minerals or organic materials that goes through cementation. This is also derived from pre-existing igneous, sedimentary, or metamorphic rocks. There are three types of sedimentary rocks, and this first type is clastic sedimentary rock. So, clastic rocks are composed of sediments formed by the accumulation of fragments derived from pre-existing rocks. This clastic type of sedimentary rock has two other types. These are clastic and non-clastic. Second is the organic or biological sedimentary rock. Organic rocks that are formed by organic materials such as leaf, roots, and other plants or animal materials. Third is the chemical sedimentary rocks. Chemical sedimentary rocks are rocks that are formed from chemical precipitate. Examples of these are limestone, halite, and flint. So we will be in our next presentation.
So for sedimentary rocks, we have the clastic and the non-clastic type. You can go to the next slide. So we'll see that under the clastic rocks, we have the sandstone and the shale. So rocks that have been weathered, eroded, and deposited are called clastic rocks, and non-clastic rocks are created when water evaporates or from the remains of plants and animals. On the next slide, you can see that sandstones are the most dominant type of sedimentary rocks. They generally occur as layered or bedded strata and vary in grain size from gravel to fine-grained sandstone. They contain quartz in varied proportions up to 95% with other minerals such as feldspar, iron oxide, and chloride occurring in subordinate amounts. In the next slide, we'll see that sandstones vary widely with respect to their matrix, texture, porosity, and strength. If the matrix is siliceous, the rock will be hard, compact, and possess high strength. Another subdivision of sandstone is the greywack. So it's greenish or gray or black in color, resembling partially weathered basalt. So greywack may originate from sediments derived from plutonic and metamorphic rocks and sometimes from detrital matters of a sedimentary terrain. The next type is the orthoquartzite, which contains 90% or more of quartz sand. It is light-colored rock and resembles quartzite. So orthoquartzite is commonly called quartzoid sandstone. The cementing material of the rock is mainly silica at places mixed with minor content of calcareous matter. However, a close study may show that it is of sedimentary origin as it lacks the interlacking texture characteristic of a metamorphic rock. And then another subdivision is the arkose, which is light gray to pale pink in color and consists of coarse and angular grains of quartz and feldspar nearly in equal proportion. The grains are well sorted and derived from disintegration of granitic rock. The rock also contains iron oxide, carbonate, and clay in subordinate amounts. If the feldspar content is more than 25%, the rock is termed feldspathic sandstone. And then the next one is the siltstone, which is a light-colored rock consisting mainly of sand particles with size varying between 2 microns and 75 microns. It also contains little amounts of coarser sand and clay. So siltstone has a gritty feel, which is an identifying character in a hand specimen. Siltstones are generally interbedded with shale and sandstone. And another type of clastic sedimentary rock, so those were all sandstones. Now we have another type of we have another type of clastic sedimentary rock, which is shale. So shales vary widely in color from light gray to gray and also white, yellow, brown, and black. It's soft. It is a soft sedimentary rock with thin layering or lamination along which breaks easily. So if the clay percentage predominates and there's no layering, the rock is called claystone or mudstone. Claystone beds are frequent in the Siwalik Formation, and shale and claystone contain minerals which play a significant role in engineering geological investigations. And then the next type, we have the conglomerate. So this rock is formed from consolidation of rounded boulders. If the matrix is siliceous, it is hard and of high strength, but when the rock contains other types of matrix such as clay, it becomes porous and breaks easily when saturated with water. Depending upon the dominance and size of these rounded rock fragments, the conglomerates are termed pebbly conglomerate or pebblestone, pebbly conglomerate or cobblestone, and boulder conglomerate. So when the majority of boulders in a sedimentary deposit are angular and uneven, the rock is termed breccia. When boulders in large numbers remain embedded in clay, the resulting deposit is called tillite. Conglomerate, breccias, and tillite are not suitable for foundation rocks as they crumble under pressure and in saturated condition and permit leakage of water through them. And the second type of sedimentary rock we have, so those were all plastic sedimentary rocks, and now we have the non-plastic sedimentary rocks, which we have the major type of non-plastic sedimentary rocks like limestone. So limestone is the major type of non-plastic sedimentary rock. Calcite is the dominant constituent of limestone, with dolomite and aragonite in subordinate amounts with occasional presence of few quartz grains. On the next slide, we'll see that dolomite, when dolomite content is more, the rock is called dolomite. The rock is found in different shades such as white, gray, yellow, brown, and black. Another constituent of limestone are fossil shells. So fossil shells are frequent in many varieties of limestone. For example, Kora limestone and foraminifera limestone, as you can see in the photo. Limestone goes into solution and may form large caverns, which are of great concern when present in a reservoir project. So if hard and free from cavities, the rock is suitable for foundation. And then we have the oolite, the chalk, the marl, and diatomaceous earth. You can see a photo of, you can see what an oolite looks like. So it is a variety of limestone consisting of spherical concretions. And then the next slide, you can see what a chalk looks like, which is another wide variety comprising minute fossils of sea organisms. And then we have the diatoms, which are unique forms of algae that grow silica shells, which are preserved in water under sediments after death. So now that we're all familiar with the different types of sedimentary rocks and their properties, now we'll discuss the different uses of sedimentary rocks in construction. So the different usage of sedimentary rocks. So it can be used in building constructions. Sandstone, which is easy to work with, has been broadly utilized in the construction of buildings, specifically in areas where large quantity of sandstone is available. Another use can be for structural walls. So both sandstone and limestone are suitable for the construction of structural walls. Nonetheless, sandstone shall be considered carefully because it might be excessively porous and fragile for load-bearing structures. As I've mentioned, some of the sandstones earlier can be excessively porous. And then another use is for cement production. So limestone is the main source material for the production of Portland cement, but shale can also be used as a component in cement production. And then another use is concrete production. Sedimentary rock are used as aggregate in concrete production to withstand pressure. And then the pavement and road construction. Sandstone and limestone have been used for the construction of pavement stone and road stone. Shale is used as aggregate in road construction, and sedimentary rocks are used in highway roadbed. And then the last one is tunneling. So sandstone is very useful since it does not influence geological structures and ground condition detrimentally. It is strong and easily workable. So as we can all see, you can use the sedimentary rocks for different areas in construction. And now we'll move on to the metamorphic rocks, which my teammate will be discussing.
So now we are going to talk about metamorphic rocks and its classification and description. What are metamorphic rocks? Metamorphic rocks are formed by metamorphism of pre-existing rocks under high temperature and pressure conditions. They show remnants of earlier rocks formed under pressure temperature conditions known as xenolith. How does metamorphism occur? Metamorphism takes place within the range of 100 degrees Celsius to 900 degrees Celsius, and this is generated from the intrusion of plutonic rocks. The pressure is caused by huge overlying rocks or forceful intrusion of plutons or plate collisions. Then lastly, the hot water and fluids associated with magma reacts with surrounding rocks and produce chemical changes. Types of metamorphism. We have the first type, which is contact or thermal metamorphism. Country rocks react with intrusive igneous bodies, causing changes in the surrounding rocks due to heat generated from intrusion or injection of magmatic fluids. So contact or thermal metamorphism are rocks produced by metamorphism that are restricted to areas close to plutonic or deep-seated bodies. So basically, thermal metamorphism is caused at the proximity of hot intrusion. The second type of metamorphism is regional metamorphism. Regional metamorphism affects large regions including the Precambrian Shield and also the cores of folded mountains. Common metamorphic rocks such as gneiss, schist, phyllite, and slate are produced by regional metamorphism. It is the metamorphism that occurs over the broad areas of the crust. Regionally metamorphosed rocks usually have a squashed or foliated appearance. Important terms. We have foliation. During metamorphism, pressure causes growth of new crystals or reorientation of previously existing crystals to layers known as foliation. Foliation basically causes splits in rocks. On the basis of foliation, metamorphic rocks are classified into the following types. We have slate, phyllite, schist, gneiss, and migmatite. Next, we have hornfels, which is a metamorphic rock of igneous origin that does not develop foliation. Lastly, we have metamorphic facies, when pre-existing rocks undergo important changes after metamorphism due to heat and pressure. So on the left side of the slide, we have the table of facies of regional metamorphism. Classification of metamorphic rocks. We have gneiss, which is coarse, widely spaced foliation compared to schist, mainly occurring with bands of dark and light minerals in thin layers. We have migmatite, which is also coarse and has poor foliation showing signs of having begun to melt. We have slate, which is fine-grained, foliation is very closely packed. We have phyllite, which is fine-grained, wavy or crenulated surfaces having sheen caused by small flakes of mica or chlorite. We have schist, which is coarse to medium coarse and has undulating plains with abundant mica. Depending on the constituent minerals, this rock is designated as hornblende schist or garnet mica schist. So the next reporter is going to discuss about metamorphic rocks and its engineering usage.
So I am here to talk about metamorphic rocks and their usages specifically for engineering. So for the first use of a metamorphic rock, they are used to build railroads, and quartzite is a common material that is used to build railroads. It is a hard material and is often broken down and used in building railroads. The next use of a metamorphic rock is for building roofs. Slate is often used in building a tiled roof, and it provides a great aesthetic and is a durable option among other materials. Metamorphic rocks are also used in building floor and wall tiles. Marble is a material that is commonly used in building floor and wall tiles. They are commonly found in the bathroom and the kitchen because marble is an easy material to clean. For the fourth use of metamorphic rocks, they are used in building gravestones. Gneiss is a type of metamorphic rock that is commonly used in making gravestones. And lastly, they are used in building farm walls. Schist is often used in building farm walls and is a material that is strong enough to withstand the effects from the weather.
So yeah, that was basically everything for sedimentary and metamorphic rocks and their engineering usages. Thank you everyone for listening. We will be conducting a quiz shortly. We'll post the link on the Google chat.